Any special song before we start? Okay, I'm guessing that's a no. Today we are doing chapter 35 of Ministry of Healing, and Brother Chadi will be the one to take us through. Brother Chadi, you may go ahead.
Okay, good evening, everyone. We're on chapter 34. The title is True Education, a Missionary Training. I found this chapter very interesting. The first statement is that
Hello, Mr. Curry.
true education is missionary training.
Je vais bientôt. Pourquoi pour plus de chapitres
Sorry, I was saying, it starts with the statement saying that true education is missionary training. You see, this is actually what is called true education. So even in our families, we have to develop that spirit of missionary. It is very important. Every son and daughter of God is called to be a missionary. We are called to the service of God and our fellow men, and to fit us for this service should be the object of our education. So even the family, it has to be a ministry actually, where missionary work or missionary spirit is given. You know, it will be good actually if we could have a family going out there reaching people, just a family like father, mother, children as well, just going there and reaching to people and uh, uh, sharing about God news. And yeah, I think it will be a very wonderful thing to have. This subject should ever be kept in view by Christian parents and teachers. We know not in what line our children may serve. They may spend their lives within the cycle of the home. They may engage in life's common vocations or go as teachers of the gospel to heathen land. But all are alike called to be missionaries for God, ministers of mercy to the world. So it is very important to impart in our children that spirit of missionary. The children and youth with their fresh talent, susceptibilities are loved of God, and He desires to bring them into harmony with divine agencies. So you see that I even shared this last time. It was about I don't know. I think it was the closing of the Sabbath. Yeah. No, not closing. Okay, I don't know. I don't remember. You see, the value that God is showing toward the youth is very great. It's something very big. Actually, God knows that as youth we have fresh talent and energy to do His work. That's why actually, the reason why a lot of youth now are like confused about love, about life. The reason why most of them actually just they just like or love the pleasures of this world. That reason is because Satan himself also knows that, yeah, truly the youth are very powerful. So he's now using it against God. So that's why he wants every time uh to influence them in the bad way. They are to obtain an education that will help them to stand by the side of Christ in unselfish service of all his children to the close of time, no less than of the first disciples. Christ said, "As thou hast sent me into the world, even so have I sent them into the world." to be representatives of God, to reveal His Spirit, to manifest His character, to do His work. I find this very interesting. You see, uh, God sent Jesus Christ for a work to do on this earth, and now Jesus now sent us for work to do on this earth. Now, what is that work? If you go to, I think it's Luke chapter 4 and verse, I think 18, where it says that the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because He has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor, uh, and to preach the gospel to the poor, um, and also to heal the brokenhearted, and also it also says that uh, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and as well uh, to 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 proclaim the recovery of sight to the blind. So this that verse actually is just giving us the work that actually Jesus Christ came to do on this earth. So it's the same work that we have to do on this earth as well. Whether their lives shall be a blessing or a curse depends upon the choice they make. Overflowing with energy, eager to test their untried capabilities, they must find some outlet for their superabounding life. Active the active there will be for good or for evil. God's word does not repress activity, but guide it aright. You see, one thing is that youth are very, they can be actually influenced easily. It's, it's very easy to influence a youth than to influence a person who is age. Let's say a person who is very old. It's very difficult to influence that person compared to a youth. So you see that that's why actually we have to start early with the youth. We have actually to put in them or impart to them these principles, these godly principles that they won't actually make bad choices, because their life on this earth, like now, will whether influence them for good or for bad. So it's very important for us that we may impart to them the knowledge of God, and also they have energy. So we should never uh, limit them or put them in a circumstances where they will never they won't actually know what to do, or they won't even know what they can do. But it's better actually to teach them that, you see, you are youth, so you can do a lot of things. So just get get yourself acquainted with, let's say, playing, what is this, piano, or maybe learning how to play guitar. So it's there's a lot of things they can learn. So uh, we should never repress the youth from doing something. With us as parents and as Christians, it rests to give our children right direction. They are to be carefully, wisely, tenderly guided into paths of Christ-like ministry. To surround them, sorry, to surround them with such influences as shall lead them to choose a life of service, and to give them, sorry, the training needed is our first duty. So you see the importance of actually teaching children, or youth, about God, about our work as Christians. It's very important, especially in the family. So they should grow up with these principles in them. Let the youth be impressed with the thought that they are not their own. Their time, their strength, their capabilities are his, to be developed, to be trained, to be used for him. So there are should also know that, yeah, even on do whatever I feel like. So it is very important that they should really understand and know that they have to do things in the fear of God. That they're not allowed actually to do things that the Bible actually don't doesn't agree on. God desires them to become all that He has made it possible for them to be, and to do their very best with the powers He has given them. So, what are these powers? God has given us talents that we have actually to improve. We have some some people don't even know actually what is the talent that God has given them. So it's very sad because you won't even try to improve it. But if at least, had we known our talent, we could have easily worked on it, and we could have done a lot of things for the sake of the gospel. It presents a valuable, enabling truth that we may advance in a safe and sure path, in, in pursuit of an object worthy of the earnest engagement of all capabilities. God looks into the tiny seed that I really like this part. God looks into the tiny seed that He Himself has formed, and sees wrapped within it the beautiful flower, the shrub, or the lofty wide-spreading tree. So, so does He see the possibilities in every human being. You see, I really enjoyed it. You see, when you look at a seed, you won't see the tree which will come after. So it's the same thing with youth actually. You see, they have a lot of they have a lot of uh, uh, abilities that God has given them. So now they can actually make a very big impact in the communities. So that actually we have to really take care of their education. It's very important because they can do a lot of great things actually in life. They can do great things. They can influence people actually that they may come to Christ. So we should never neglect that work of education. We are here for a purpose. God has given us His plan for our life, and it desires us to reach the highest standard of development. So we really need to reach that standard of development. Like we really just we have like, I don't know, we have a liberty to actually try to learn from anything which is under the sun. We have at least to have an idea of almost everything which is under the sun. We have like, yeah, if someone is talking about this, at least you have to give them a what information about what he's talking. So let us not be limited, but let us learn, and learn. It desires that we shall constantly be growing in holiness, in happiness, in usefulness. All have capabilities which they must be taught to regard as sacred endowment, to appreciate as the Lord's gift, and reality to improve. I already explained this. Like that's how we grow. That's how we grow. We have to actually try to uh, to have a knowledge on everything. The Bible, we should we should be more acquainted with it than other people. We should really spend time reading the Bible. We should spend time even to have right information about things which are happening. We should spend time actually to see how we can be useful uh, to the communities. So we should really try to explore the gift, the given gift that God has bestowed upon us. It desires the it desires the youth to cultivate every power of their being, and to bring every faculty into active exercise. Yeah. He desires them to enjoy all, all that is useful and precious in this life. I think this phrase is very important. It desires them to enjoy all that is useful and precious in this life, to be good and to do good, laying up a heavenly treasure for the future life. So they really have to know how we can actually uh, be good, or also do good in the communities, how we can make uh, the world a place, a better place actually. So they really have to know this. It should be their ambition to excel in all things that are unselfish, high, and noble. So it, I really enjoyed it. Like, we have to be they say that we have to be the head, not the tail. So this is actually what he's talking about. We have to excel in everything that we are doing. Like whatever our end find to do, we have to do it with all our might. So this comes to say that we really have to, whatever thing that you are learning, you really have to be, not for the sake of competition, but for the sake of learning, to excel in whatever thing that you are doing, to have a proper knowledge of whatever thing that we are learning, because we have just to have faith that God indeed has given us a brain to think, and that we can understand things because God has blessed us. Let them look to Christ as the pattern after which they are to be fashioned. The only ambition that he revealed in his life, they are to cherish, an ambition to make the world better for their having lived in it. This is the work to which they are called. So I said this already, that we have to actually make the world a better place. That's why we have to have a full knowledge of almost everything, or let me say everything actually. We have to tell people like we have to have the proper information. People should actually come to us and then ask us like, what about this? What about this? You are the one who has to give them the proper answer about something. Um, a broad foundation. The highest of all sciences is the science of soul saving. The greatest work to which human beings can aspire is the work of winning men from sin to holiness. It should it is very sad actually to notice that even in school, even in our homes, uh, we don't actually learn about how we can actually save someone. Like we just cannot study, we just cannot learn how we can do it. Even if you go to church, you go to church only um, to see pastors preaching to you, but you yourself, you just don't have a proper foundation that can help you actually to preach the gospel to someone else. So it's very sad to see that we are not making that sense of saving soul our priority, because I really believe that church is only like the agency that God um, has given us just to what, for the salvation of men on this earth. So this is actually the role, or the main objective behind churches. So we should really know that and consider that indeed our great work is to save souls. So we should really know that, and we should now think about how we can now do that. We should really, because it's the science, so we have to really know that, to really study that. Education is not complete unless the body, the mind, and the heart are equally educated. When you go to school, they will only teach you calculus, but they will never teach you about how you can save someone, or how we can preach to someone about God's love. Do you understand? So it's in our homes. This is actually the work that is supposed to be done. That our children should, yeah, they should know these things. They should grow up knowing these things. The character must be received the character must receive proper discipline for its fullness and highest development. It is a duty to cultivate and to exercise every power that will render us more efficient workers for God. True education includes the whole being. So we should really think about, it's not only our mind, our intellect. We should only think about our spirituality, uh, our let me say our mind should really think about the education of our all being. It enables us to make the best use of brain, bone, and muscles, of body, mind, and heart. The faculties of the mind, as the higher powers, are to rule the kingdom of the body. The natural appetites and passions are to be brought under the control of the conscience and the spiritual affection. So it's very important to really educate our all being. It's very important, like our mind, our body should really know that, yeah, the appetite is there. So I have to, since I know that eating this can do this, then I have to take the right decision about it. So we should really have a knowledge about what we have to do for us to actually to educate our minds, our body, and our heart as well. The schools of his time is talking about Jesus with their magnifying of things small and their belittling of things great. He did not seek. His education was gained from heaven-appointed sources, from useful work, from the study of the scriptures, from nature, and from the experience of life. That lesson book, full of instruction to all who bring to them the willing hands, the seeing eye, and the understanding heart. So, do you understand that even in Christ's love, in Christ's life, uh, he the education that he was looking forward to, it was actually that which he could gain by reading the Word of God and also from nature. So these principles actually, that is what made Christ education. But now we have schools and they're only teaching things that uh, are really secular. But the most important thing with Christ is that he knew his usefulness because he was working as a carpenter. So at least he could do something. So that's how we should also train our children. They should have the proper knowledge of life, that it's not only to go to the university. They should really know that from the early age, they should really know that their usefulness, that you, as you are growing like this, I would like you actually to end up being, let me put, a doctor. So from that age, you start now, even when even if he's going to school, but he should at least start teaching him about how we can be a doctor, those principles and what and what. So from the early age, it's very important actually that the youth or the children should know about that which they want to be in the future. Not when that the university is not the best way actually, that then they will just uh, try to learn about who they will be in the future. So it just doesn't make sense. So it's better actually to start that vision in homes. The home is the child first school, and it is here that the foundation should be laid for a life of service. I just explained this. Very, very early, the lesson of helpfulness should be taught uh, sorry, should be taught the child. As soon as strength and reasoning power are sufficiently developed, he should be given duties to perform in the home. So it's very important that when the parent, let's say they are working, they should really try to uh, invite their children to also participate in that work. It's very important. That's how actually the children would also learn about it. As a friend of mine once said something is that you see your parent, if your parent, uh, if one of your parent dies, or let's say if your parent died, the two of them, if they die, it should not be that when you now uh, be fatherless, or or when you want to have parents, you just cannot like manage your life, like you just suffer from it. You want, let's say, make it in life. So it should not be like that. Your parent actually should teach you how you can actually live without them. So this education should be actually taught when you are still young. They should really uh, the parents should actually teach children how they can do things by their own, not only using, let's say, not only with the help of the parent, but they should really think that they can do it on their own. So the parent have to teach them how they can live without them. So this is very important. The more fully the spirit of true ministry pervades the home, the more fully it will be developed in the lives of the children. They will be learned to find joy in service and service of for the good of others. The work of the school. The home training should be supplemented by the work of the school. So it's also important actually to send the children to school. But now, remember what I just said, that we have the spiritual part mostly, and also uh, the part where the child actually has to know about who he will become in the future, has to start in homes. So this is the starting point. But now, as society uh, recommend us actually to go to school, that to have a degree and what, because without that you won't have actually a job. So you are required actually to go to school. The development of the whole being, physical, mental, and spiritual, and the teaching of service and sacrifice should be kept constantly in view. Above any other agency, service for Christ's sake in the little thing of everyday experience has power to mold the character and to direct the life into lens of unselfish ministry. So you understand that it's very important for the youth actually to, or the children to engage with the parent um, in the work of Christ, because this is actually that is the way actually